What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, I want to give a shout out to the brother Trenard for the donation to the channel, and he gave a donation. He liked the video I did about Pete Maravich. What if Pete Maravich played today? I'm glad you liked that video, and I like to do those type of videos. I know those videos don't get the same views as some of the other topics I talk about, but I know that I have a contingency of fans who are also historians of the game, and they like to hear that type of talk as well. So I will never, ever stop doing those types of videos for you guys. So this is a request, and a video request that I got was, what if Michael Jordan missed the shot? Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, those of you who are younger, the shot was a clutch jumper by Michael Jordan of the Chicago Bulls during the 1989 first round series with the Bulls and the Cavaliers. That shot won the series for the Chicago Bulls over the Cleveland Cavaliers. Back then, the first round was best of 5. And I think the significance of that shot has become lost over time. To give you an idea about how important that shot was, at that point in time, if you asked most sports pundits at that time who was the top teams, the Eastern Conference, they would have said the Detroit Pistons and the Cleveland Cavaliers. As a matter of fact, when you go back to that season, Chicago struggled against the Detroit Pistons and the Cleveland Cavaliers during the regular season. Matter of fact, I believe Chicago went 0-6 during the regular season against the Cleveland Cavaliers. As a matter of fact, the last game of that season, if my recall is correct, the Bulls played their starters, including Michael Jordan. Cleveland rested their starters, and they still won the game. At one point in time during that season, the Cleveland Cavaliers had the best record in the NBA before injury to Mark Price, who, of course, was their point guard and their offensive initiator. Afterward, they went something like 15-13 after his injury. They still finished with a good record, but they were on pace to win 60-something games at one point. And they looked like they could be the team of the future. They had Brad Daugherty, Mark Price, who was playing at an all-star level. They had Larry Nance on that team. They had Ron Harper, who many people call the poor man's Michael Jordan, and he was one of the few guards who could at least in stretches effectively defend Michael Jordan. Okay, no one could stop him, but he could be effective at times. Craig Elo, who else? Hot Rod Williams. They're a really good squad. Going into that playoff series, almost nobody, none of the major local news columnists, none of the major sports pundits had Chicago winning that series. So for Chicago to ultimately win that series on a jump shot by Michael Jordan, Jordan, of course, had a phenomenal series. I think Jordan had 44 points and 9 rebounds in that closeout game. It was remarkable. And that loss had a tremendous psychological effect on Cleveland. At that point in time, I think as a unit, they lost the confidence that a championship team needs to reach that threshold or that echelon of greatness. They effectively were mind fucked, I think, afterwards, because they're like, we can't beat this team. We're on paper, we're supposed to be better than Chicago, but we can't beat Michael Jordan. He keeps killing us again and again and again and again. Individually, he kept killing them. The very next year, he dropped 69 points on them. At the beginning of that season, he dropped 54 points on them. He was killing them. and they were winning. And at that stage of Michael Jordan's career, sometimes when he would drop 40 or 50, his team would lose. But against Cleveland, they would win. Afterwards, I should say. Individually, before, Jordan would drop 40 or 50 on them, but they would lose. But afterwards, they were never the same team. If Michael Jordan misses the shot, in my opinion, it could have effectively changed a lot. Number one, Cleveland would have advanced, and I believe they would have played the Knicks. I think they could have beaten the Knicks, and then they would have played the Pistons in the conference finals in '89. I think that of all the teams in the East, Cleveland matched up the best against the Pistons. Now, I still think the Pistons, with their physicality, and size, the Cavaliers had size. I think the physicality of the Pistons still, and their experience, I think they would have beaten the Cavaliers, but getting to that level would have given that team more drive, right? I think getting to that level of giving the Cavaliers more confidence going into the next year that they could beat or contend with the best teams, And also, I think another thing that possibly would have helped Cleveland along the way, it's a possibility if they had made it to the conference finals, or hell, even the NBA finals, if they were able to beat the Pistons, but let's just say the conference finals, then maybe they don't trade Ron Harper. Maybe they don't trade Ron Harper. Maybe they keep him. Maybe they think that he's worth it. And if they keep Ron Harper instead of making the trade for Danny Ferry, maybe they go on ultimately to win a championship. They're not going to be the Bulls dynasty. I don't think so. But maybe Cleveland does go on to win a championship. Maybe Cleveland does go on to make some final appearances. And maybe Chicago gets stunned a bit. Maybe if Jordan misses that shot, maybe the Bulls pull the trigger on some ill-fated trades that do nothing but hold the team back. I don't think Michael Jordan would ever demand a trade. But it could have delayed Michael Jordan from winning championship. I think Michael Jordan, with his mentality, the Bulls would have won titles, right? I just don't see Michael Jordan going throughout his NBA career and not being a winner. I still think they win, but if the Cavaliers win that series, then the Bulls' trajectory into the 90s would have been delayed a bit, I think. Does Jordan still win titles? Probably. Do they win 6? I don't know. I tend to think not. Because I think that championship that game-winning shot just proved to Jordan, and he said all the time, that shot gave him, like the shot in college, it gave him that confidence to just go even further as far as the expectations for the Bulls. So, yeah, that shot was very significant. But anyway, tell me what you guys think.